Ah, the Adventure Cup. I'm going to have each Digidestined duke it out with their partners in this 8-person tournament. For this video, I'll be going over the Digidestined's decks and what choices they plan on making. And to reiterate, the rules for the Adventure Cup are simple. Number 1. Each Digidestined can only use the in-training Digimon for their respective Digimon. This means that of all the Digidestined, only Matt and Tai will get 5 eggs, considering there is only 1 printing for everyone else. Number 2. Memory Tamers will be limited to 2. However, if a Digidestined is featured as multiple Tamers that can gain memory, 2 of each can be played. Number 3. Digimon will be restricted to certain types, i.e. if a Digimon doesn't have a billion printings, other Digimon will have to be used as substitutes. Because, let's be real, we can't all be Agumon and Gabumon. To that end, this also means no Omnimon. Number 4. Option cards are restricted to that Digimon's Digivolution line. This in particular will apply to Gabumon and Gomamon, being that Kokaitis Breath, which features Metal Garurumon, can only be used in Matt's deck, and Hammer Spark, which features Zudomon, can only be used in Joe's deck. All other option cards will be subjective, which I'll explain for some Digidestined's decks. And number 5. All blockers for these decks will be the cheap 1-cost evolution blockers, just to keep everyone on the same level playing field. With that, let's introduce our red competitors and their partner Digimon. In this corner, we have Tai, Kamiya, and Agumon. Tai will be running a standard lineup of 5 level 2s, 14 level 3s, 12 level 4s, 9 level 5s, 7 level 6s, 6 option cards, and 2 tamers. With his level 2s, BT5 Koromon will be his way to draw cards, while Starter Deck Koromon will provide some DP buffs. For Agumons, he'll run 2 BT1 Agumons to search for tamers, being that memory tamers are very important for this. 4 BT5 Agumons to search for his Greymons, 4 promo Agumons for the 2000 DP buff for his Greymon Digimon, and 4 Starter Deck 1 Agumons for the generic 1000 DP buff. For Greymons, Tai went with the potential cheap 1-cost Greymon from BT5 for a plus 2000 DP buff over the BT1 Greymon. Although BT1 Greymon might be better for bricked hands, the cheaper evolution cost is just much better. For the secondary Greymon, he's going to go with the aggressive security attack plus 1. Then to finish up level 4s, he's going with 4 Monochromon. For level 5s, even though Tai managed to go to the Skull Greymon route, Skull Greymon isn't a great body to play for this format. Instead, he'll be going with a pure Metal Greymon lineup composed of 2 BT1 Secret Rare Metal Greymon for aggression, and the plus 3000 DP buff, Altruist mode for some control elements, and the Starter Deck Metal Greymon for memory recovery if he's blocked. Moving to level 6s, here's where the big guns are. 4 BT1 War Greymon for option card negation and additional security checks. In the Adventure Cup, BT1 War Greymon is a huge boss monster, and with all the buffs will likely survive any security check. Remember, without any level 7s, most of these games will go fast. Control will be a player's best way to remove certain Digimon. Following BT1 War Greymon, Blitz Greymon will provide some form of control. As for option cards, Tai does not get to run Gravity Crush, because he's got a memory tamer. Gravity Crush will be reserved for a separate tamer. With that, this deck will be running 2 copies of Heir of Dragons for the extra draw power, and 4 Gaia Force for maximum destruction. With that, Tai will be in the game himself with 2 copies for memory stabilization and extra security attacks. Tai will be one of the most aggressive players in the Adventure Cup, but with only 1 game for each round, will RNG be in his favor. The second red deck for this competition will be piloted by Sora Takenouchi and Biyomon. For level 2s, Sora will be running 4 copies of Yokomon. This will provide plus 1000 DP buffs when she attacks another player's Digimon. Unlike Tai and Agumon, who are going to go for super aggressive strategies, Sora is going for the control game, planning a DP buff and swing over her opponent's Digimon. Her level 3s indicate this even further. BT1 Biyomon gives her Digimon plus 2000 DP if her Digimon is blocked. But because there aren't too many blockers, this card will be placed at 2 copies, while the other Biyomon are prioritized at 4. Sleepy Biyomon helps with memory stabilization, because she has no memory tamers. Promo Biyomon is her primary way of helping her draw cards. And finally, Starter Deck Biyomon for cheap on-play bodies. Level 4s, Sora has 4 copies of BT2 Birdramon, 4 copies of Monochromon, and 4 starter deck Birdramon. When picking between BT1 and BT2 Birdramon, BT1's effect is only on play. At least with Birdramon, I have the synergy of trying to control my opponent's board by swinging over their smaller bodies when possible. After all, Shadowing plus BT2 Birdramon is a 10,000 DP body. That's impressive. Moving to level 5s, there's going to be 4 copies of BT1 Garudamon, a piercer that has an inheritable effect of drawing more cards when you delete a Digimon in battle. As for the others, there's more mixes of drawing and DP buffs again when Digivolving. Level 6s, Sora's going to take to the skies with Phoenixmon, 3 of which are memory stabilizers and 4 copies which are cheap and big. As for options, Sora will be the only red tamer that uses Gravity Crush. Because of the lack of synergy with the blue tamer option, Gravity Crush will be Sora's way of gaining memory. However, unlike Blinding Ray, there's a steeper cost to giving your opponent 2 memory for each one. The last option card Sora is going to run is Shadowing, a 1-cost option card that gives plus 3000 DP to one of your Digimon, or an extra security check for all of your Digimon if it's checked in the security. As for Sora herself, she'll be run at 2 copies to give that extra DP buff. But because it only works when checking security, this is why she is at 2 copies and not more. Tai plans on taking the game straight to the face, going for the most aggressive plays and only having a few elements of control, being Blitz Greymon. Sora, on the other hand, plans on playing a little bit more control, building big Digimon and swinging over to delete any Digimon that might prove as a threat. That's it for the red players. Do you think Tai or Sora will come out on top for the Adventure Cup? Let's see how Blue plans on shaking up the Adventure Cup and what shenanigans they'll pull on the next video. As always, this is DIGI-PANDA, logging out.